tonight on CTV News at 6. It's a growing problem in downtown areas.
We can no longer walk by and watch and witness people violating the law and using drugs, illicit drugs, in our downtown.
Police in North Bay take aim at the core, launching a new enforcement initiative. And a reminder to lock up. A Sudbury resident says he's one of many whose e-bike was recently stolen. Plus, are you looking to throw your hat in the ring? We'll tell you what it takes to run in the upcoming municipal election.
CTV News at 6 with Marina Moore and Tony Rima with weather.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. We begin tonight with breaking news from Manitoulin Island, where police are asking the public to shelter in place. UCCM Anishinaabe Police and the OPP issued a statement this evening saying they're dealing with an active incident on Balsam Street in Shishigwaning First Nation. Residents in the immediate area are asked to stay indoors, keep doors locked and windows locked. We'll have more on this as information becomes available. The body of a 68-year-old swimmer who went missing Sunday in Elliott Lake has been recovered. Brian McLean was swimming about 150 meters from the shore of Spruce Beach when he went under the water and never resurfaced. An OPP dive team found his body yesterday evening. Police say the investigation is ongoing and a post-mortem has been scheduled in Sault Ste. Marie. After 7 months, evacuees from Kashechewan First Nation have been given the green light to return home. Kashechewan Executive Director Tyson Wesley confirming today water test results have come back free of cryptosporidium and other contaminants. Evacuees will start returning home as early as Friday, and the process is expected to be complete by August 4th. That's exactly 7 months after declaring a state of emergency. Wesley says the water treatment system was fixed and upgraded over the summer. However, the pumps for the UV system were damaged during the repairs. Those are expected to be fixed over the weekend. Now to a warning to lock up your e-bike. This after several Sudbury residents took to social media within the span of 24 hours asking for help in finding theirs, which they say were stolen. CTV's Madison Merrier has more.
Justin Pretty's neighbor's CCTV footage appears to show two people grabbing his motorbike and dragging it away, leaving only a few tools behind.
My initial reaction was just honestly sad, because how do you react to that?
Pretty says he made sure he locked it up because the night prior, his girlfriend's bike was stolen.
That was heartbreaking, and then we were just going to share my bike. And after that, the next day, I was sleeping because I had a day off, and we wake up and my bike was gone too.
For myself specifically, I can't say that I'm aware of any pattern series where we have somebody going out and identifying and stealing bikes in a row, but it's definitely something we'll be looking into, and if there are linkages, we will find the linkages and then we can investigate further from there.
2 other posts have been made on social media of stolen bikes, and police say there is an 83% increase in e-bike thefts so far this month compared to the last.
E-bikes are generally more expensive than bicycles. We're finding that they're a bit of a higher value target right now, and simple things that people can do is, taking off one of the tires, taking the battery off of it, making sure that it is secure. So if it's in a shed or a garage, make sure that that's locked.
As a community, need to band together and try to get action, because we can't keep allowing this in our city, and we have to really push for the police to really do something. Maybe talk to the city council and stuff, because you're hearing about this too much.
Pretty and his girlfriend have just moved into their building and lost their only mode of transportation. But he says he's grateful to his new neighbors and landlord for their surveillance footage and hopes it helps police catch the individuals who did this. Madison Merrier, CTV News, Sudbury.
A Sudbury woman who uses a wheelchair says she was faced with frustration during a recent visit to a local public building when she had to use the washroom. CTV's Angela Gemmel has her story.
He spoils me.
Marcel helps his wife Isabel into her favorite chair at home. He's been her caretaker since an injury 5 years ago caused a spinal cord condition.
I have not been in a wheelchair all my life, and now I know what people are going through.
and it's just not fair.
While attending a wedding reception in the Valley Cavern at Science North recently, Graffy says she attempted to use the restroom with her husband's help. Despite signs stating the washroom was accessible, Graffy says there were barriers, including not enough space for her wheelchair to fit through the stall door.
Every time we travel, I'll help her a lot, and that's the first time really. Here's a situation like that.
And when my husband tried to close the door, it was touching the toilet, so it hit my glasses. So I managed to hold on to something at the back of the toilet, close the door slowly, shimmy, then sit down at the toilet, but then I couldn't get up because it was too low.
In a written statement, Science North apologizes to Graffy, saying they did a review of their washroom facilities after receiving her complaint. They agree that bathroom was mislabeled and say they've removed the accessibility signage.
People with disabilities need to go to the bathroom too, just like people without disabilities, and they shouldn't have to go slogging up several floors in a building in a hopeless search for maybe finding an accessible washroom.
According to Science North, the washroom in question is in an older part of the building that conformed to previous building codes. It says there are accessible facilities on the main floor. However, on its website, accessible bathrooms are noted near the entrance and near the food court. Both are a good distance from the cavern, saying we continue to identify opportunities for improvement through future infrastructure renewal planning. Graffy says she wants to file a human rights complaint.
People with disabilities should not have to file human rights complaints against every single barrier they face.
On top of that, Lipovsky says it could take 5 years to even get a tribunal hearing. Angela Gamble, CTV News, Sudbury.
Halton Regional Police say they've uncovered a coordinated human trafficking network operating in the Greater Toronto area. It's being described as the largest human trafficking bust in the force's history. Police saying today one victim coming forward prompted the investigation, dubbed Project Troubadour.
Thanks to her incredible courage, what ensued was a large-scale, 10-month, multi-jurisdiction investigation that uncovered an additional 11 victims who were subjected to commercial sexual exploitation over an extended period of time.
Police revealed the results of Project Troubadour today, saying there were 12 victims between the ages of 18 and 34, though they believe there were likely many more. 9 people have now been charged, facing a total of 85 criminal offenses. A strong storm caused surface water flooding in North Bay overnight. Footage taken by several viewers shows the heavy rainfall during last night's storm. Flooding occurred in the Lakeshore Drive, Wallace Road, and Commerce Court areas. Sewers were temporarily overwhelmed by the rainfall, and primary treatment tanks overflowed at the city's wastewater treatment plant. The city says reports of sewer backups have come in from property owners, but the extent of damage done to private property is not yet known. According to the North Bay Mattawa Conservation Authority, 40 to 60 millimeters of rain fell in the affected area. So are things drying up out there? For our first check on weather, we go to CTV's Tony Rima. And Tony, rain is always a good thing during forest fire season, but hopefully North Bay is getting a break.
North Bay is getting a break. Marina, good evening, everyone. As we take a look at our forecast radar, clear skies today. Temperatures not all that bad. Should be about 24, 25 degrees as a daytime high, so slightly cooler today. In fact, over the next couple of days, we're going to see clear skies, beautiful sunshine. Temperatures going to kind of have that roller coaster effect, but no rain until maybe Friday and into the weekend. Your current conditions are still ahead. Marina, it's back over to you.
Thank you, Tony. Sudbury volunteers have been hard at work at Delkey-Dozy this week installing a new walking path. With help from grants from the Roots Community Fund, volunteers were able to install this new walking path through the park's food forest. Sudbury Shared Harvest is responsible for the food forest, which is the largest project the group has undertaken. The community food forest is there for people to enjoy, both for its scenery and for the fruit it bears. Those apples look delicious. Time now for a quick break. Coming up on CTV News at 6, Tony has your full weather forecast. For now, though, let's go ahead and take a live look at conditions in North Bay. We have our tower cam shot here. You can see the waterfront in the distance, and you can also note that, as Tony mentioned, the rain has stopped for now. So that is good news after that heavy rainfall last night. We'll be right back.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400 from your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Public drug use, trafficking, and other drug-related crimes are becoming problematic for many downtown areas. Now, North Bay Police have launched a new targeted enforcement initiative. CTV's Eric Tashner tells us more.
Public drug activity in North Bay's downtown continues to impact shoppers, businesses, and tourists.
There are expectations when you're in a shared public space, and we appreciate that the police also see that.
Over the last 2 years, police have increased foot and bike patrols in areas experiencing higher levels of social disorder and opened a downtown police storefront.
Just that visible presence really makes a difference for some people. It can be really arduous for business owners who are expecting to come in and open their business when all of a sudden they have to stop and ask someone if they can, move their stuff out and then clean up the mess.
We did a survey in the fall of 2025 where about 60% of the business community recognized there was either a significant or at least there was an improvement.
Police say drug use remains one of the most significant public safety challenges. So, in the spring, they launched Operation Safe Space, targeting people involved in criminal activity that contribute to public drug use, looking to disrupt the supply of illegal drugs.
We can no longer walk by and watch and witness people violating the law and using drugs, illicit drugs, in our downtown.
Last year, the Street Crime Unit completed 26 drug trafficking investigations where nearly 240 charges were laid and close to $900,000 worth of illicit drugs and 22 guns were seized.
We have to intervene. They were instructed to seize their drugs because it is still illegal. But at the same time, they were also tasked with trying to get them some kind of connection, do some kind of intervention to get these people help.
It's a complex issue. While Longworth urges for a national drug strategy, he's also advocating for more harm reduction, prevention, and treatment centers across the province. Eric Tashner, CTV News, North Bay.
A deep dive on the price of food at grocery stores has come up with some interesting trends. The price of meat and fish increased by 6.5%. Bacon rose a whopping 28.9%. Atlantic salmon rose by nearly 26%, and pork loin chops increased by more than 24%.
We saw the same with chicken, where thigh prices went up and breast prices actually came down. So part of it is demand, but part of it is that supplies are a little bit tight, and demand for protein remains really strong despite the price hikes.
Chicken breast prices have gone down nearly 27%, and vegetables dropped by 6.6% so far this summer. The Agri-Food Analytics Lab used grocerypulse.ca to calculate food prices and found that 30 of the 50 products tracked actually declined in price this summer, but the price of the other 20 products actually pushed up the amount you're paying at the grocery store. The federal government has said they won't be entertaining the expansion of Toronto's Billy Bishop Airport. This comes after the Ford government passed a bill taking control of waterfront property from the city. As CTV's Siobhan Morris explains, Toronto's mayor is demanding the land be returned.
After the federal government shut down a pitch to grow Toronto's Island Airport to accommodate jets.
No, we have no intention to repeal.
Ontario's transportation minister is shutting down an ask from Toronto's mayor to pull back the bill that puts Ontario in the decision mix on Billy Bishop and gives the Ford government control of some waterfront properties.
If the answer is a no, why do you want a local park and local beaches? Like it's always belonged to the city of Toronto.
Ottawa's rejection of a bigger Billy Bishop came after more than 87,000 responses in public consultation.
We love our waterfront. If you expand the airport, it will wreck it. Air quality, the noise and congestion, all of that will just make life not very comfortable.
Minister Sarkaria sees the feedback a different way.
We've seen the federal government here listen to a small French group in Toronto.
He says the federally controlled Port Authority will still develop a formal proposal.
The province will continue to push forward on a modernization of this airport because it's the right thing to do and it makes sense. And from an economic perspective.
CTV political analyst Scott Reid sees Ottawa's timing as no accident, with Mark Carney's Liberals trying to hang on to Beaches East York.
They took it off the table on a Friday night in the middle of the summer, 2 days before they called the by-election. So I think they're laying their cards on the table about what drove this decision and where their thinking is coming from.
That by-election is set for August 31st. Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
All right, back we go to Tony now for a check on the current conditions this Tuesday evening. Tony, how are things looking out there right now?
Marina, things look pretty darn good. Temperatures very comfortable, just below seasonal. Let's take a look at those. And it's rather nice. In through Timmins, 24 degrees, a mix of sun and cloud for Cochrane. Much the same, a little cooler for Moosonee, but lots of sunshine there. In through Cap, 23 as we head on over to Chapleau, 24 degrees, a mix of sun and cloud. Much the same for Wawa. Sault Ste. Marie, a little cooler, sun, cloud, not all that bad though. Great evening to go for a walk or maybe even a bike ride, walk the dog. 21 degrees at this hour in through Parry Sound as we head north to North Bay. Beautiful sunshine for the most part, 20 degrees. Temiskaming Shores a little overcast. Sun peeks out every so often. For Kirkland Lake, 23 degrees, lots of sunshine. Greater Sudbury, just peeked my head outside. It is overcast, 21 degrees, much warmer in through Espanola, 24. For Elliott Lake and Gore Bay, lots of sunshine. What's in store for the next few days? I will tell you with your 7-day weather forecast. Marina, it's back over to you.
All right, we'll look forward to that. Thank you, Tony. Next on CTV News at 6. What comes next as an intern accused of spying at NATO military headquarters is denied bail? And Tim Hortons bites into the 25th anniversary of the first Harry Potter movie. A Canadian intern accused of spying for a third country while at NATO military headquarters in Belgium has been denied bail. Officials say the suspect is of Chinese origin. CTV's Judy Trin takes a closer look at what comes next.
A Canadian intern will remain behind bars after being denied bail. The woman is accused of spying at NATO's strategic headquarters in Mons, Belgium, known as SHAPE. The suspect allegedly worked for an unnamed third country and is a member of a criminal organization. NATO interns are usually screened by member countries. In Canada, CSIS and the RCMP would be involved in the vetting.
I don't think it's worrisome.
Dan Stanton, a former CSIS officer, said this could be a counterintelligence operation. And the deliberate disclosure of ethnicity sends a message to the foreign power she's working for.
The way we've uncovered, or we, meaning the government, or various governments, have uncovered perhaps the modus operandi of an intelligence service and has stopped the further development of what could be a mole or a penetration agent on behalf of another country, let's say China.
SHAPE is the command center for NATO, where the alliance plans its military operations and decides where to move troops and weapons. In a statement, Colonel Martin O'Donnell says there's no indication that NATO or SHAPE operational readiness, command and control, or ongoing tasks have been adversely affected. SHAPE, the supreme headquarters of Allied Powers Europe, hires 35 interns a year. Now that the Canadian woman and alleged spy has been denied bail, she'll have the opportunity to appeal. Judy Trin, CTV News, Ottawa.
As Canada's Dominic LeBlanc arrives in Washington for more trade talks, the U.S. president is telling Fox News he doesn't care about updating the trade pact with Canada and Mexico, and that he'd rather be independent. CTV's Rachel Aiello has more.
So the USMCA, are you looking to update that?
I don't care. I mean, I don't really want to.
U.S. President Donald Trump made it clear today he doesn't really want to renegotiate the trilateral trade pact known on this side of the border as CUSMA.
I'd rather be independent. Here's the thing. Mexico and Canada need us. We don't need them. The deal is important for them. It's not important for us.
This declaration prompting new questions about Canada's ability to get a good deal.
We haven't seen the intensity that a government that is focused on its interests should be bringing to our own North American contact.
Canada-U.S. Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc and this country's chief trade negotiator are heading back down to D.C. this week for meetings. And this longtime Canada-U.S. relations expert says Trump's latest comments show that this country should be treating this trade war like a war.
It's not because you wish to exacerbate the trade war with tit-for-tat retaliation. That's not working. And it's not that you want to, do something dramatic that'll hurt your own economy. But the U.S. has to be convinced that you're willing to. That's, I think, where we are.
With just 3 weeks left before Trump's 50% tariffs on a range of Canadian exports come into effect, there's little clarity on the minister's game plan.
I think he owes our country some transparency.
And new data indicates the renewed tariff threats are casting a fresh chill on already frozen business investment.
Holding back on business investments today, whether it's investing in machinery and equipment, R&D, or people, means delayed in future growth in wages and productivity later on. And so with all this uncertainty, it's really starting to affect our long-term competitiveness.
LeBlanc's office confirmed to us this afternoon that the minister is now in D.C., but still won't say how long he plans to be there. Asked to respond to Trump's latest salvo and if it hurts their chances of getting a deal, the minister's spokesperson said, quote, "We will not comment on that." Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
Thousands of homes in southern Japan have no power after a powerful magnitude 6.8 earthquake rocked Kumamoto Prefecture. The full extent of damage is not yet known, but early indications are that at least 50 people have been injured. Numerous power outages and fires have been reported. Multiple buildings are damaged. More than 150,000 people have been told to go to evacuation centers. Meantime, a catastrophic situation in Europe. Thousands of firefighters are scrambling to get growing wildfires under control after forcing more than 350,000 people to evacuate regions across France and Spain. The fires come as Western Europe braces for yet another major heat wave. Drone footage released by Spain's Civil Guard shows flames closing in on towns and villages in central parts of the country. Meanwhile, fire crews in France are gearing up for another tough fight near the city of Bordeaux in the famous wine region. This as both countries brace for more soaring temperatures and dry conditions. The Big Apple is making a major effort to attract more Canadian tourists before the end of summer. New York City Tourism has come out with a Northern Neighbor deal, which includes 30% off at more than 85 hotels, Broadway shows, attractions, restaurants, and museums. The deal runs from August 18th through September 7th. They say the discount will help offset the current exchange rate. Meanwhile, Porter Airlines is also offering 20% off some flights to New York City. Canada is New York's second largest international market, with 820,000 visitors expected this year. There's more news ahead, but first, your full weather forecast with Tony Rima. And if we're talking rain, sunshine, or perhaps both, Tony.
Marina, we are talking, well, clear skies overnight and plenty of sunshine tomorrow. As we take a look at our forecast radar, as you can see on our map, lots of clear skies, beautiful sunshine. Into Wednesday, things will look pretty nice as well. And it's not until Thursday evening we start to see a few more clouds roll in, possible showers, and that's going to spill over into Friday. On our systems map, well, we have high pressure, but we're also watching this low and this trough that brought the unsettled conditions yesterday. But things are going to change ever so slightly. High is going to give us the clear skies, beautiful sunshine, and then another system behind it is going to give us those unsettled conditions, clouds, showers, you name it. Taking a look at our overnight conditions. In through Sudbury, clearing skies, 13 degrees for the Sioux, just a few clouds. Timmins, single digits overnight, clearing skies. A chance of rain this evening, not so much overnight for Timiskaming Shores and North Bay. Temperatures 12 and 13 on the board. For Moosonee, mainly cloudy, 5 overnight as a low. For Cappenhurst, clearing skies. Wawa looks pretty good, 11. Gore Bay, well, clear skies, 14. And Parry Sound, there is a chance of showers overnight. Let's take a look at your 7-day weather forecast, starting with Sudbury Nickel Belt. Tomorrow, beautiful sunshine. That carries over into Thursday. Friday, that's when that system rolls through. Unsettled conditions. The precipitation lasts until Saturday. Sunday, for Monday, beautiful clear skies. Tuesday, 29 as a high when it should be 25. For Sault Ste. Marie, Algoma tomorrow, mostly sunny, and it ticks up temperature-wise on Thursday. Friday, well, it's back to the clouds, the rain, more showers expected Saturday. Sunday, we get that clearing. Monday looks beautiful, even warmer on Tuesday. In through Timmins, Cochrane, and Kapuskasing. Tomorrow, beautiful sunshine, even warmer on Thursday. Friday at this point, clouds, rain, more showers expected. And through Saturday, Sunday, start to get a little clearing. Tuesday, 29, mostly overcast. For Timiskaming Shores, Kirkland Lake, tomorrow, beautiful sunshine, 23, should be 25 this time of year. Then on Friday, the clouds roll in. There's a chance of precipitation. Much the same kind of forecast for Saturday. Temperature dips a little bit. Monday, to start your work week, if you're working, because it is a holiday on Monday, 26, and even warmer on Tuesday. And your 7-day weather forecast for North Bay, West Nipissing. Tomorrow, clear skies, 24, 26 when it should be 25 this time of year. Friday looks much the same except increasing cloud cover. More rain on the way for Saturday, Sunday, Monday, holiday Monday, 26 degrees. And on Tuesday, mostly overcast, 29 when it should be 25 this time of year. And our picture of the day comes to us from Lisa. She was out kayaking and she was on Watton Lake in Hanmer, and she spotted this painted turtle. Thanks so much, Lisa, for that. We'd love to see your weather pictures. You can send them in to us at weather.pictures@bellmedia.ca. And there's still time to put your name on the ballot for the municipal election this fall. Amanda Hicks looks at the process to become a city councillor after the break.
Potential candidates hoping to run in the next municipal election have a little over 3 weeks to declare their interest. But what exactly does it take to get on the ballot? CTV's Amanda Hicks reports.
The City of Greater Sudbury says there are currently 27 council candidates and 6 mayoral candidates officially registered for the 2026 election, a lower turnout compared to the 2022 race.
Typically, we see a period of activity at the very beginning when nominations open, and then a relatively calm period, and at the end we'll usually see another number of people register at that point. Some people just prefer to wait until the end to register their candidacy.
To be eligible, LaBelle says a candidate must be a Canadian citizen, at least 18 years old, and a resident of the municipality. Applicants also require a list of 25 supporting signatures and must complete paperwork either online or in person at Tom Davie Square.
There are certain categories of people who can't run for municipal council: city employee, a judge, an elected member of provincial parliament or federal government.
Sudbury councillor Deb McIntosh first took office in 2014 and has since served 3 terms in Ward 9. She is not seeking re-election and says campaigning has shifted dramatically over the years.
It used to be everybody got the newspaper, right? And you could put an ad in the newspaper and say, I'm running, right? And now it's There's so many different platforms for people to reach out and talk to you on. And so that has changed a great deal. Another thing, so our population has grown as well in Sudbury. So there are more people to connect with than there were 12 years ago.
McIntosh says her top advice for candidates is to door knock and speak to people face to face.
That's the best way to connect with people. People want to feel like they know you. Municipal officials, elected officials, are the closest politicians to the public, and they do want to feel like they know you and that they can call you.
The deadline to file nominations is August 21st at 2 p.m. Voters head to the polls for the municipal election Monday, October 26th. Amanda Hicks, CTV News, Sudbury.
Doctors say they're seeing a spike in eating disorders among young people. They say the problem becomes more common during the summer. CTV's Sweta Rassi has the details.
Summer is the season many look forward to, but for some, it's the hardest time of the year. Dialogue, a Montreal-based virtual healthcare provider, is seeing a 57% jump in consultations for eating disorders.
It's a problem that is seen most often in the summer.
Dr. Mark Robbins says changes in routine, a lack of school support, and the pressure of having a beach body explain the rise.
This is cyclical. It is a seasonal variation that we observe.
The numbers are even worse for young people. Consultations are up 73% for people aged 17 to 25. Lise André-Massé at Anorexia and Bulimia Quebec says nearly 300,000 people in the province live with an eating disorder.
We know that the first sign can start at 4 years old.
She says eating disorders can affect anyone. Men, she says, are often more pressured to look muscular, whereas women feel the need to look thin, especially on social media. Last summer, the hashtag Skinny Talk was banned on TikTok because it encouraged eating disorder behaviors.
We reach out to TikTok and say that it's something that should be banned.
Now, if you type Skinny Talk, what comes up are helplines, including one from Anorexia and Bulimia Quebec. But the problem doesn't just go away.
But they reinvent themselves. So the fact that this is there, it's concerning.
Eating disorders are complex and in some cases deadly. And with summer in full swing, experts say reaching out for help is crucial. Sweta Rassi, CTV News.
Albertans will soon be able to book and pay for some medical imaging without first getting a doctor's referral. The province says the move will add choice and capacity, but CTV's Kevin Green spoke to critics who shared a warning.
Starting Friday, Albertans can self-refer for a handful of diagnostic procedures, but they'll have to pay for it themselves.
Starting July 31st, Albertans will have the option to access diagnostic screening tests, including ultrasounds and X-rays, MRIs, and CT scans to start, directly through participating providers.
The change removes the need for a doctor or nurse practitioner to order the initial test. If a new cancer diagnosis is found, the province may reimburse the cost, but private insurance must be used first, with the province acting as the payer of last resort.
Patients will have a full year from the date of diagnosis to submit the reimbursement application.
There's also no guarantee the public rate will cover what a patient paid. The Centre for Policy Alternatives says the plan is designed to push more people towards private insurance.
People will be encouraged to take out private health insurance, to pay privately for care. The private market for healthcare can only exist if the public system deteriorates to the point where people can't access care in a timely manner.
Legal experts say the plan could find Alberta in conflict with Ottawa over the principles of the Canada Health Act.
Historically, Canadian healthcare has been premised on this idea that you access services based on your need rather than your ability to pay.
The government says doctor-ordered tests will remain publicly funded, and it believes its new plan will increase diagnostic capacity.
We believe this approach can encourage investments in new clinics, modern equipment, and add additional diagnostic capacity here in Alberta.
Officials estimate self-referrals could add about 50 to 60,000 exams a year. Radiologist Dr. Robert Davies says clinics will be ready.
In the coming weeks, we will see these clinics continue to consult and develop strategies to support this new option for patients while ensuring that patient safety and publicly funded care are not compromised.
Calgary Confederation MP Corey Hogan confirmed to CTV the federal government is reviewing Alberta's healthcare plan. He says Ottawa's position is that it must comply with the Canada Health Act, which he says means it has to have universal access and remain publicly funded, and that protecting the principle of universality will guide any federal review. Kevin Green, CTV News, Calgary.
A Windsor man is walking his way home all the way from Ottawa. He's doing so in recognition of Emancipation Day, when slaves across the British Empire were given their freedom. More from CTV's Jerry Duan.
It's a 1 month, 750-kilometer trek from Ottawa to Windsor.
We started a 750-kilometer walk on July 1st, Canada Day, that will conclude on August 1st, Emancipation Day. The walk is a tribute to my freedom-seeking ancestors that came into Canada via the Underground Railroad.
The Slavery Abolition Act came into law August 1st, 1834, freeing 800,000 enslaved people throughout the British colonies. Travis says his 750 for Peace walk isn't only about the past, it's about building a better future for young people.
To help raise awareness and help youth outreach initiatives do some fundraising. So we're supporting back home the Windsor Youth Center and the Sandwich Teen Action Group.
He says he's been encouraged by the number of people who celebrate his mission to honor the significance of the Abolition Act and who want to support him, like Jeff in Zora Township, who biked alongside for over an hour just to keep him company.
Sometimes we find ourselves in these silos where we're really beginning to think or believe that, you know, our back's against the wall, people are divided, you know, we're eating like this diet of division and division and division. But small towns, bigger towns, there are wonderful, kind, supportive people out there.
Travis is being supported throughout his journey by his wife, Nina Soto.
Get these down so you don't burn your ears.
Travis says his goal is to do a walk like this one every year for 10 years.
On every province, and we're going to service different youth organizations every year.
Travis has been averaging about 25 kilometers a day and says for the most part he's feeling good, but admits his back has been tightening up. He looks forward to returning home on Saturday. Jerry DeWan, CTV News.
And still ahead here on CTV News at 6. A famous restaurant in Montreal gets a big stamp of approval from a popular chip brand. We'll tell you about the new collaboration coming up.
Clothing provided by Laura, Melanie Lynn.
The taste of one of Montreal's best-known restaurants is now contained in a potato chip. CTV's Olivia O'Malley has more on a partnership between the restaurant and a popular potato chip maker.
This is a good one. I like those.
The chip has Miss Vicky's signature crunch and tastes like a staple Nora Gray dish, something owner Ryan Gray never thought would be possible.
To do a Nora Gray, you know, like flavor of Miss Vicky's chips, I mean, like it was like we had to pinch ourselves.
About a year ago, Miss Vicky's approached the 40-seat foodie destination to be part of its Ristoranti series. 3 new chip flavors created by Italian restaurants across Canada. Nora Gray in Montreal, Pizzeria Battiali in Toronto, and Ask for Luigi in Vancouver.
It was an amazing process, actually. Like really way more in-depth and scientific than you'd expect.
The 15-year-old restaurant's menu changes with each season, but they ended up going with the flavor from a plate they've served since the start. Homemade spicy pepperoncini with freshly baked focaccia.
You know, our focaccia that we do here is like a sourdough focaccia as well, so there's like a tanginess to it, and then you get the heat from the peppers.
Recipe developers and tasters worked with the restaurant to recreate pepperoncini and focaccia in chip form. Gray, a salt and vinegar lover himself, says he had no idea what to expect, but was blown away by the final product, and so were consumers.
There was just like really and truly like a tsunami of attention.
When the flavor was first released last year, Canadians gobbled it up.
We were selling out all over town and all over, like in other cities also. Like we were getting messages, people kept trying to get the chips from, like, come here to get the chips.
The chips are back on shelves for a limited time. But if you want the real deal, Nora Gray is open Tuesday to Saturday.
Go great with a glass of orange wine.
Olivia O'Malley, CTV News.
All right, I've got to try those now too. Moving on now, and hammer throw champion Ethan Katzberg has struck gold at the Commonwealth Games in Scotland. Katzberg won the men's hammer throw title with a Games record 80.97 meters on his first attempt. The 24-year-old from Nanaimo, BC is a two-time world champion and took gold at the 2024 Olympics. Canada now has 23 medals, 8 gold, 8 silver, 7 bronze, to rank third behind Australia and England.
This one, I think it's very special to me for many reasons, but I mean, the Commonwealth Games holds a special place in my heart. It's the first senior team I was on, first senior medal. I took silver at the last one, so to come back here and win the gold is incredibly special to me. And then on top of that, with the Games record is amazing.
Also on the podium yesterday was Rowan Hamilton of Chilliwack, BC, who won bronze, his first ever medal at the Commonwealth Games.
Entertainment is brought to you by Super Big Money TV Bingo. Join us this Saturday at 6:30 on CTV.
Plenty of music news today, beginning with an update on the singer known for You're So Vain. Here's David Daniel with the Hollywood Report.
I sat down at the piano and played some chords that sounded like a hymn.
Carly Simon says she's been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. The Grammy-winning singer-songwriter, who's 83, also revealed she'd had surgery to remove a skin cancer from her face. Simon says the two ailments are why she's stayed out of the public eye in recent years, but, quote, I am still very much here. It's actually a great time for Gracie Abrams. The singer-songwriter's new album, Daughter from Hell, has debuted atop the Billboard 200. It's the first time Abrams has hit #1 on that chart. Fans of Hadestown the Musical didn't wait. The pro-shot version of the Tony-winning show was only supposed to be in theaters for 5 days. But after an opening weekend that brought in $10.2 million, slightly more than Hamilton's debut, distributors Crosswalk and LD Entertainment are extending the film's theatrical run. Singing along in Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Tim Hortons says it will be launching a Harry Potter-themed menu next month. Canadian customers will get a chance to order items inspired by the film franchise. The coffee chain says it's launching the new menu as well as limited edition merchandise and packaging to celebrate the 25th anniversary of the first Harry Potter movie. New menu items will include the Gryffindor strawberry cheesecake donut and the Slytherin chocolate pistachio donut. Tensions over North American trade are reaching a new flashpoint following fresh comments from Washington. BNN Bloomberg's Christine Lee has more on Canada's reaction.
U.S. President Donald Trump declaring Tuesday that the Canada-U.S.-Mexico agreement is not important for the United States as trade officials from Ottawa rush to Washington. Trump asserting on Fox News that Mexico and Canada need us and we don't need them, and the U.S. would rather be independent than update the CUSMA. Brushing off concerns over newly announced 50% tariffs on Canadian imports. Canadian Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc will travel to Washington this week to defend domestic industries, backed by recent polling showing 6 in 10 Canadians favor counter tariffs if a resolution cannot be reached. Here are the closing numbers for the day. West Texas Intermediate is down over $3 to $79.26. Western Canadian Select is down over $4 to $65.71. And the TSX is up nearly 35,750 points today. Those are your business news headlines. I'm Christine Lee.
And here are the current prices for some key commodities we watch. Gold is down $46.70, closing the day at $40.29.91 U.S. an ounce. Silver dipped $1.28. Copper down 4 cents. And nickel is down 11 cents, ending the day at $7.65 U.S. a pound. Tony's back now with one last look at the weather for Wednesday.
Thanks for that, Marina. Lots of sunshine on the board. Let's take a look, starting with Sudbury. 24 degrees, plenty of sunshine, a lot of egg yolks here. Timmins, 23, mostly sunny for the Sioux, coming in at 24. As we head on over to North Bay, 24 degrees. Parry Sound, a little warmer, 25, and in through Temiskaming Shores, 23 degrees will be your daytime high right across northeastern Ontario. The normal high for this time of year is between 24 and 25, so if you're in that ballpark, good for you. Marina, it's back over to you.
We just need that, but on the weekend. Thanks for that, Tony. Well, finally for us tonight, it's a rare sight for the East Coast. An orca whale has been spotted just off Cape Breton. As CTV's Ryan McDonald tells us, the whale is making a splash with locals and tourists alike.
He's under us. He's under us.
He's under us. It's a rare and beautiful sight. People have been flocking to the water near the Canso Causeway to try and see an orca whale that has come to the area. Oh my God, he's beautiful. Kayla Partridge spotted the whale Saturday and Sunday and sent us this video. Others were just hoping to catch a glimpse of their own.
That would be a once-in-a-lifetime thrill.
Raylene McDougall, originally from the Glace Bay area, is visiting from New Brunswick. She says word of the whale's arrival was enough for her to make the trip a bit early.
I'm from Cape Breton, and we were coming here, but we came now because of the orca.
About 3,000 miles so far. We're having a blast and hope to see an orca today, but not yet.
This couple, who are visiting by motorcycle from Minnesota, saw all of the people taking pictures and decided to pull over themselves.
You know, I think it must be a rare sighting here because it is, there are people lined up and people stopping regularly.
The people with binoculars and cameras weren't the orca's only visitors today. Representatives from the Marine Animal Response Society and the Department of Fisheries and Oceans also paid a visit to make sure the animal is still doing okay.
Sometimes it came to check us out, which was pretty remarkable.
In an interview from the water, Tanya Wimmer of Mars said the orca still appears to be healthy. They are reminding people not to approach the whale and for boats to stay at least 100 meters away.
At the end, it actually was starting to make its way further back out towards the Gulf of St. Lawrence and heading up the coast. So we're hopeful that it actually has figured out which way is out.
Mars says it will continue to keep tabs on the orca's movements and condition until it swims back into more familiar waters. Whoa, whoa. Ryan McDonald, CTV News, Ald's Cove, Nova Scotia.
Oh my God!
Wow, what a dream for all of those people to be able to witness that. And it looks like the whale was putting on a little bit of a show, too. That's all the time we have here on CTV News at 6. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again tomorrow. Good night.